It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L.A.R.
Hello and welcome to Losses Above Replacement, the greatest baseball podcast to grace your ears. I'm today's host, Mathias Altman-Kurosaki, and with me, as always, we have my amazing co-hosts, our very own trade candidates, Alex Clark and Ryan Splash Potts. Gentlemen, it is the day before Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's looking forward to having a good holiday. How are you doing? We're recording a little earlier today. I ran into a bit of a conflict. So first of all, thank you for being here on this Wednesday afternoon. But how are we doing today?
I mean, if you're saying I'm a trade candidate, I'm trying to figure out what my trade package would be, and I'm debating whether or not it is at least a $20 Wendy's gift certificate or a $25. I feel like that's where
I think we could do better than Wendy's.
Oh, this is true. Okay, let's see then, because I don't want to go, like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. I don't think I'm
like
worth
Applebee's.
I don't know
maybe?
if I've heard. Where? Applebee's, yeah, maybe Applebee's, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never been to Ruth's
At least
Chris.
be Buffalo Wild Wings, so I can just eat a lot of wings.
Wings, beer, and sports. There you go.
Wings, beer, sports. It's there. You go. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
yes.
question: with these trade packages, can we get traded for draft picks? And what would a draft pick compensation even look like for podcast?
It would be a 696 round draft pick in the year 3025.
Oh,
I would just be interested. Say, like the Ringer has a podcast network, like Bill Simmons has a podcast network, the Barstool guys. Like, if that's like, say, the cream of the crop for like sports stuff,
right?
Then like the second tier might be something different, third tier, so on and so forth. I don't know what tier we're on. I don't know.
I feel like we're the undrafted free agents tier.
Okay,
I'm not sure yet.
Fair enough. Maybe we're the up and comers.
We are it's like we're the hidden gem. The hidden gem with the
exactly.
Like we're the what was it? The
diamond in the rough.
The Steven Gostkowskis.
Oh yeah, the Steven Gostkowskis. Yeah. That's fair.
I'm rocking and rolling. Excited to make my world famous apple pie cinnamon rolls for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
I would do that.
I'm excited. So
that
times
sounds
to be live.
Yeah, wow, that sounds really good.
Mac, would you like to discuss the collapse that's happening in Steel City?
I don't know what are you talking about? I don't know what sport you're referring to, man.
It's not a sport that exists. Not definitely.
Yeah. What sport? What are we talking about right now?
If it makes you feel better, Joe Shiesty could shiesty all over the Ravens again, and you could be in first place here in a couple.
Respectfully, the thing that gets me is that knowing this Steelers team, they're for some reason going to beat the Bills this weekend, but then lose to like the Dolphins late in the year,
or lose to the Browns with Shadur,
or lose to Shadur. So
actually, former podcast co-host Shadur Sanders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
The point is, I love the NFL. Love it so much. I love college football even more. It's not like my team gave up 70 points or something the other day and had the worst loss in school history. But that was great. Syracuse basketball almost beat Houston, but they can't make a free throw. I could talk for days and days about that. But other than that, swim meet was fun on Sunday. At least I was exhausted.
Did you?
I had to race a Danish Olympian by the name of Anton Ibsen, former NCAA champion for NC State. He broke his age group's world record in the race we were in, which was an 800 meter race, 800 freestyle. Pretty funny visual because we're like 100 meters into the race and I'm just like chilling because it's the first 100 and I just see this dude like zooming in the other direction like it's like he's a bullet train or something, and I'm like, man, this is what it's like. I raced this dude last year and he beat me by a full pool length in a much shorter race. So in case you can't tell, we're not the same speed.
I was about to do the joke that, are you winning, son?
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally winning. But yeah, that's what's going on. But today we are we'll get to the meat and potatoes later on. We are doing something similar to what we did last week, but there were two big trades, and we're going to start with the one that caught me completely off guard. I mean, both of these moves I'd say weren't really expected, but the Mets and Rangers linked up on quite the blockbuster, in my opinion. Brandon Nimmo going to the Rangers in exchange for Marcus Semien. The Rangers also get $5 million to sort of offset the costs. I could talk about this trade for days. It feels like it's the only thing that's been being discussed right now in New York because, like I said, completely unexpected. Nimmo had a full no trade clause. There are rumblings maybe he gets traded, like he could be had was the phrasing of it. But I'll let you guys talk about this first. I mean, this is two guys who are aging, have kind of hefty salaries. Just one of them, Nimmo, has a longer deal. So what are your thoughts on the Nimmo for Semien straight up swap?
It really caught us all off guard here. Like, I feel like I was on call with someone when it happened here. I don't remember fully what it was, but I was like, what? Here, that's legitimately the first blockbuster. Like, I was not expecting it. I understand why both teams did it here, but at the same time, it's like, Splash, you'll get this. And this is playing MLB Life and seeing all the random trades that are like, oh, I guess, yeah, the Mariners is trading Ichiro for, I don't know, Kosuke Fukudome.
Or like Ben Sheets. Ben Sheets
or Ben
for
Sheets,
like
yeah,
JD Drew or something. It's like the weirdest trades.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I see it. Although I will say this does mean now that the Mets really are going to have a dominant middle of the infield here with having Lindor and Semien now, two that both have had top MVP finishes. Maybe not so much winning MVP, but having at least
Semien's a 3-time finalist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Semien's been really, really good here. Yeah. No, this is a trade that the more I think about it, the less sense it makes. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I feel like there has to be an ulterior reason for this kind of move. Because either the Rangers are trying to offset some level of cost here, or they have someone that they are expecting to be at the second base position, or what I think is potentially more likely here, the Mets didn't want to work with Nimmo anymore. It's my other thought process with this. I'm not sure how true that is, but it feels like this is one of those trades that's a lot of things had to happen to even bring up the idea of it.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the claim I am about to make is unsubstantiated. I've not listened to Buster only talk about it. I haven't listened to Passan. This is purely from the wise mind of me. Why did the Rangers make this trade? It's Sebastian Walcott time, baby. Keep in mind he actually is a shortstop, so I don't know if this is a Corey Seager moves off short and Walcott plays second, or Walcott plays short and Seager plays second. I don't know. Seager was actually pretty good defensively at shortstop, but in all sincerity, maybe this is a move to open up the middle infield for Sebastian Walcott, the Rangers' top prospect, one of the better prospects in baseball. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I do find it a little strange from the Mets' perspective, although you do have the Swiss Army knife known as Jeff McNeil that can slide into the outfield spot that Nimmo is vacating. So you're looking at a really good infield pending the return of Pete Alonso. Semien and Lindor up the middle is excellent. Vientos, I think, will bounce back if you retain Alonso. Great first baseman. And your outfield of Soto and McNeil in the corners is fine. Carson Bengi is the slated, at least on Fangraphs,
he'll probably be up. Yeah.
Yeah, is projected to lead Mets center fielders in plate appearances. I don't know. That's also a spot. Jet Williams, Luis Angel Acuna, Jeff McNeil, even Tyrone Taylor. This is just a weird trade. This is an NBA trade, as far as I'm concerned. That it's like not exactly a superstar for superstar, but just a trade you don't really see happen. You don't see a lot of like MLB level play, like star. all-star level player for all-star level player. And the all-star shape of the production is a little bit different. Semien is very much a WAR darling, I would say, especially these last couple years that he's been at league average bat. His OPS has been below 700 each of the last 2 years, and sometimes a difficult place to hit in Globe Life for some reason. But he's healthy generally. Ironically, he and Nimmo have played the exact same number of games over the last 4 seasons. I digress. But Semien was a really, really good hitter early on. With Toronto, he was excellent. And then his second year in Texas in particular, he was excellent when he set the plate appearances record for the World Series champion Texas Rangers. But he's been more of an average hitter, really good base runner, still a good glove. I don't think he deserved to win Gold Glove at second this year, but he did. So Mets fans can rejoice in that you are technically getting a Gold Glove second baseman. Fair enough. But I think he's going to be Mac, I think you'll understand, like a watered down version of Lindor, that the value is the position. And it's like, oh, well, Lindor only hits like 270, so he's not as good as X. Well, he's a shortstop hitting 270, and 270 is kind of meaningless, but he's a shortstop that hits 30 home runs, is really good defensively, steals a bunch of bases, plays every day. So there's value in that. And you don't think, oh, shortstop, that means it's like twice as valuable. That means like he's not going to be as good offensively as Soto, but it doesn't matter because he's so much better defensively and he plays shortstop as opposed to a corner outfield spot. And Semien's sort of a watered down version of that, playing second base, not quite as good defensively, good base runner, not as good of a hitter, not a switch hitter. But I think both teams it improved different aspects of each team. Nimmo looks like he's going to play right field for the Rangers with Langford in left and Evan Carter in center. Hopefully Evan Carter figures it out. Langford, he'll be featured in our top 5 left fielders video coming soon. And maybe Sebastian Walcott, you see the major leagues this season. I don't know.
Yeah, really. Look, it obviously as a fan, it hurts to see Nimmo go. He was a fan favorite. Super nice guy. He was great on the field. He was great off the field. But he even spoke about how, him and his wife were kind of planning that he was going to spend his entire career in New York. I mean, they even just finished building a house in Port St. Lucie. But the reality is he's turning 33 in March. He has 5 years and over $100 million left on his contract. His speed is declining. He's dealt with plantar fasciitis. His defense is declining. And his offensive approach has changed to include more power. At the same time, his plate discipline has gotten worse. He's not walking as much. He's chasing more. And because of his his decline in athleticism, he's kind of just limited to being a corner outfielder. And also, I am a little surprised to see that Chris Young wants to play, or the Rangers want to play him in right field, because he is one of the worst arms in the game. Respectfully to Nimmo, every time a single is hit to right field with a man on first, that guy on first is going straight to third because there's no way he's throwing him out. Semien had a dreadful start to the year. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. On May 28th, he had a 485 OPS. But he said during his press conference that after that day, he worked on simplifying his approach. He had a 123 WRC plus up until the point where he got hurt. And here's the thing. Yes, he got hurt this year. That's very rare for Marcus Semien. He fouled a ball off his ankle and missed the rest of the year. But before that, he was playing nearly every day and Splash is highlighting it right now. He played 162 games in 4 straight full seasons. And 159 in 2024. That was considered like a low number for him. So he will take the field every day, barring like a freak injury like that. So I think, and he's always been lauded as a great clubhouse guy. He was the captain of the Rangers, which, by the way, makes this trade all that more shocking. I had a feeling if Nimmo got moved, it'd be a contract type of move. Semien was not even close to being on my radar. I knew that the Rangers, there were talks like, maybe they'll move Seager or another guy with a big contract. I didn't even consider it here. Also, he's one of the few guys where his batted ball profile actually better suits Citi Field than Globe Life Park. And Citi Field is not a hitter's ballpark. So I think, honestly, both teams get a solid player out of it. I'm not expecting Semien necessarily to be the MVP caliber player he was, his second year in Texas, his only year in Toronto, his second last year in Oakland. But I think he fits the team well. And you were talking about Jeff McNeil. I frankly don't expect Jeff McNeil to be on the team next year. Another guy who he has 1 year left on his deal plus a club option worth $15 million in both years, but he's turning 34 in April. He had thoracic outlet syndrome. He's had injuries each of the last few years. And he really, really struggled in September to the point where he was like borderline unplayable late in the year. So I'm not expecting the Mets to hang on to McNeil. I think some team will bite on it. And his versatility is a plus here. So overall, I get why the Mets did it. I didn't expect Semien to be the guy they got, but I see why they got him. And I think, honestly, it does help the team improve a little bit. David Stern says stressed run prevention that they need to work on. But the reality is I need to see what they do next. There are more moves coming. So,
absolutely.
So,
great season.
Mac, I do have a question for you as
Yeah.
the resident Mets fan. Change in the positive direction, no change or negative change towards Pete Alonso's chances of returning to the Mets?
I actually think positive direction a little bit, because that was the thing is that Nimmo, and he even said this, that the front office spoke to him about it. He probably was going to be starting to move more towards DH. And I think now this opens up the door a little more for Alonso returning more so as a DH rather than a first baseman. And the other thing is that Nimmo, he did hit for more power this year, 25 homers, which is a career high, but he was like I believe he's a 116 OPS plus guy. And to me, that's not enough to be an everyday DH. So I think actually the door opens a little more.
Sure.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, there was one other big move. Sonny Gray traded to the Red Sox. Gray, unlike Nimmo, is entering the last year of his contract. He's also 36 years old. 36, just turned 36. Had a decent year with the Cardinals, coming off a solid year again in his first year. But the Red Sox, I didn't quite see this coming. I had a feeling Gray would get dealt just because he's entering the last year of his deal and he's an aging veteran. But what do you guys think about this deal? Gray, he's turned into a bit of a strikeout artist, actually, the last 2 years in St. Louis, and he's going to a team that needed an arm. So what do you guys think about Sonny Gray going to Boston?
Honestly, I love it. I think this is a good move here because right now you take a look at the Cardinals and they're going into a multi-year rebuild here if they've already been technically in a bit of a rebuild. Sonny Gray's a good arm, but he's also 36. He's not going to be part of those plans here. Sonny Gray right now is he's had such one of the weirdest careers, if I can be honest with you. He has had such up and down highlights over the course of his now, 14-year career? Sorry, 13-year career?
That is crazy to think about.
It is weird. Like, honestly, Splash showed it on the last thing here. He was drafted in 2011. I was still in high school at that point, and now I've been out of college for a while. So, yeah, he has some Cy Young finishes, a few All-Stars to his name. He's been pretty solid.
Cy Young runner-up I forgot about that one. Yeah,
I did too. And that's what I kind of like about the move here is that he's at the end of he's getting to the end of the career, right? And I think what he wanted mostly was to go and compete for a contender here. And this made sense for both sides here. It made sense here for the Cardinals. They're going down in talent level this coming season, but they're already they're part of a rebuild. That like trying to accrue talent for the 2026 season, not really on the radar. Red Sox, however, after last season getting Crochet and showing how well Garrett Crochet was doing and things, thought, let's get another arm. Let's just keep bolstering that. Let's keep bolstering that rotation because we have seen a lot of times that some of the best teams are the ones with the best rotations. So, with that being said, this trade made all the sense in the world to me. It just made sense for both sides.
Yeah, and I'll add that they also restructured Gray's deal, so he's he's technically getting $41 million next year because they bought out his mutual option. He's going to get $31 million as like his regular salary. But one thing I didn't realize is that Sonny Gray had a really good strikeout to walk ratio last year. Like, yes, his 4.28 ERA is like, all right, that's slightly below average, but he actually had the best strikeout to walk ratio in the National League. Wow. 5.29 to 1. Yeah, 201 strikeouts to 38 walks in 180 innings. And he made 32 starts this year after making 28 last year. He'll go out there and give you solid innings. Yes, he is 36 years old. His fastball velocity declined, but I think on a 1-year deal, it's not too much of a risk here. It's not like the Red Sox had to give up that much. Brandon Clark is like a solid left-handed pitching prospect. He has very little experience, professional experience.
Has a great last name, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's spelled with an E.
Oh, it's a horrible last name, then.
Yeah. He was a 5th-round pick in 2024. And then Richard Fitz, who they got, I believe, in the Alex Verdugo trade, has a little bit of major league experience. But, like I said, they didn't have to, mortgage the farm for this. So I think they get, a short-term fix for their rotation. And, yes, Sonny Gray, from all my Immaculate Grid players out there, he's 25 strikeouts away from 2,000. So hopefully next year you'll get to use him. My only concern with Gray really is that he struggles in the playoffs sometimes. But overall, not a bad pickup for Boston.
Speaking of Immaculate Grid, by the way, please bring back Immaculate Draft. That was such a fun game.
Yeah. Also, I would say that the Red Sox, or for Gray, I mean, he gets the pitch, like you said, for a contender, and the Cardinals maybe are steering a little closer to that rebuild.
Red Sox coming real close. I want Sonny Gray to be your number 3 starter this season.
Okay.
That means Crochet is your 1. He's your opening day guy. He's your guy that goes against the Freeds and the Browns or Valdez, whatever, if he returns to Houston. He's the guy that goes in game 1 of the playoff series. I want Sonny Gray to go in game 3. That means you can still go get an arm on the market.
Exactly.
You are the Boston freaking Red Sox. Make a move for another pitcher. You have Crochet. That's great. He's one of the best pitchers in the world. He's arguably the best lefty on the planet. That just, I know it's sacrilegious to say with the Tigers hat on, but Garrett Crochet could be the best left-handed pitcher on the planet. Awesome. Sonny Gray is a solid 2. I would rather him be a 3. Brian Bayo, solid arm. I'd rather him be a 4. Then the guys who are at least on Fangraphs listed as injured, the Patrick Sandoval's, the Cutter Crawfords of the world, I want those guys as back-end arms. 5th guy, we have a doubleheader, pitch him there. Go get a number 2 arm. I said to go get Dylan Cease last week. It doesn't have to be Cease. It can be any number of arms on the market, probably a righty, but regardless, make sure Sonny Gray is your 3rd best arm. That's where he should slot in. Have him, if you think of him as like a 2B type, great. Get a 2A. I like that Sonny Gray doesn't walk anyone. He had a 5% walk rate last season. That is excellent. That is top 10 percentile. The strikeout rate is admittedly a little inflated because he did have a 1-2-3-4 a 1-2-3-4 whip. He allowed over 9 hits per 9 and some homers. So his strikeout percentage went from over 30% to just 26.7%. Now, that's still above average, and that's still above his career average. But I will point out that some of the strikeout volume is because he was allowing quite a few hits. And had those been cleaned up by the Cardinals' usually immaculate defense, then we wouldn't exactly be talking about a 200 strikeout pitcher, maybe a 190 strikeout pitcher, whatever it may be. But his ERA would have been better. I digress.
Right.
Boston, good move. Go make another one.
Yeah, this is not the kind of move that you want to just hang your hat on and say, all right, we're done. Yeah, I could definitely see that, especially in a very competitive AL East right now, where the teams that are normally at the top here, the Yankees, the Red Sox here, were overshadowed by a team that made the World Series in the Blue Jays. here. So this is not a division that you can take lightly. And if you are in the division playing against those division rivals a lot, it helps to have good pitching to combat those good hitters here. So I agree with Splash. I don't think it's like a necessary, like, oh, you're the Red Sox, just go and do it. I think that they should, because I don't think I trust Gray as being a main number 2 and Brian Bayo being 3. I think Brian Bayo is good. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think I trust him being the number 3 starter and say like a 3-game, like a best 3 of 5 here, or best 2 of 3 against, say, a team like the Blue Jays or the Mariners or stuff like that.
Or as we saw quite literally with the New York Yankees.
Exactly.
When they came in with Cam Schlittler, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and you have Fried and Rodon, and maybe you get Garrett Cole back this season. You have Luis Heel, Will Warren. You have a bunch of, like, the Yankees go into that series, and they just have a bunch of arms. They have a bunch of dudes, right? The Red Sox go into that series, and they have the best arm. You know, Crochet is a tick better than Fried, as good as Fried is, and Fried dealt in that wild card game, but Crochet dealt like bang, 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 bang. Give him the 1-0 series lead, and then game 2, game 3. It's one of the games was a bullpen game. You can't do that in the wild card round,
especially against a team like the Yankees. Like,
right, with a team
that's
that
the thing.
has that much roster flexibility, a team that's senior relievers probably 8 times that season already. It's just a tough predicament to be in, when instead you can go get I'll rattle off some free agents here. You get the likes of Dylan Cease, who I've said Boston makes sense. Frembo Valdez, Ranger Suarez, Michael King, Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen. Then you probably get into the more 2B types, Chris Bassett, Zach Eflin, Zach Patels, and then like the 3s and below, the Verlanders, the Mays, the Mollys, so on and so forth. Another Gray, John Gray, that would be a fun one. Max Scherzer, anyone?
Are you sure? I'll say this much. Connolly early, I think he's going to be a solid big league pitcher. He should not have been starting an elimination game with the playoffs this year. I know part of that was exacerbated by the fact that Giolito was hurt. And Giolito's a free agent now. So the Red Sox, I think, got their sort of Giolito replacement. They like you were saying, Splash, they do need like a bona fide number 2 behind Garrett Crochet. So anyways, before we get into what we have planned here, we did get some breaking news. The Angels are negotiating to buy out the last year of Anthony Rendon's contract. If you would not believe it, we are A, entering the 7th year of that deal, and B, the Angels look like they may have found a way to get out of this contract. Do you guys have any thoughts on this before? Yeah, okay, Splash.
First of all, his name is Tony Wage Theft.
Yep, that's exactly what he is.
Shout out to Not Gaetti. I don't know if he invented it, but he's the reason why I know that name exists. Let's look at the Angels' stats for Anthony Rendon. He did finish top 10 in MVP voting in 2020.
He had a 150 OPS plus.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was below average, below average, below average, and below average.
Also, take a look at the number of games played every single year.
Yeah, I was going to say games played, dude. He averaged about 50 games.
51 games a year. It was worse after the pandemic.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, averaging 51 games and not talking about 2020 is astounding.
That's ridiculous.
Although, to be fair, I'm gonna sound like a hater here. That feels a little high from what I saw of Rendon and how often it's like I just saw him in some sort of cast.
Oh wait, hang on. This doesn't even include 2025 when he didn't even play.
Good point.
Okay, cool. So cool. So you got to add another 0 to the number.
It's more like 41.
257 games in 6 seasons.
Yeah. First of all, kudos to the Angels.
That is the starting pitcher number.
Kudos to the Angels for finding a way out of this respectfully. Look, I think Anthony Rendon was a great player in Washington, and he showed flashes of greatness his first year in Anaheim, but good Lord. Unfortunately, he's not going to be necessarily remembered for his greatness in Washington anymore. A lot of it is just like Bobby Bonilla. Not everyone talks about Bobby Bonilla being an MVP runner-up. They all talk about Bobby Bonilla Day. Anthony Rendon will probably be remembered for this contract more than anything. And that sucks because he was good.
Yeah. He was awesome.
He was really
Washington.
good.
Again, he's one of the reasons why the underdog Nationals beat the Astros in the World Series. Like, he was one of the integral pieces of that. And when I heard that he signed with the Angels, as a Mariner fan, I got scared. I'm like, oh no, this guy is going to come in and wreck shop. Him and Ohtani and Trout. Oh my gosh, all hell's gonna break loose. Well, something did break loose. It's called his entire body. The only thing that's going to end by the end of this is the nickname of Tony Two Bags is going to be Tony Two very large bags of cash.
It's just a strange one that it's you have guys that I'll call it Andrew Jones syndrome, that you get to 30 and just crash. And through age 30, Anthony Rendon looks like maybe not a Hall of Famer because he started at age 23 and not like 20, but through 2020, he had 32 Baseball Reference Award, and consider that 2020 was a pandemic shortened season. He had 4 top 10 MVP finishes, All-Star, a couple Silver Sluggers. It was perfectly fine at third base. It's like, okay, he's going to age into a perfectly fine player. Maybe a cut below the Machado, Arenado, Ramirez, Chapman tier, right? Maybe right in line with Matt Chapman, in fact. Just a different shape of production. And it's just cratered. He's been worth 1.7 WAR in the last 5 seasons. He's been a below average hitter, a below average base runner, a middling base runner, and a below average defensive third baseman. It's just tough to see a guy who was third place in MVP finishing in 2019. He was behind Bellinger and Yelich. He was the best infielder in the National League in 2019. 2020, solid season, then off the rails after that. It's just kind of shocking. If you said like over under, whatever number you want heading into the 2021 season, you're probably like, oh, that's a reasonable number. Maybe you go over. And he cashes every single under you could have possibly imagined. It's just a true catastrophe. He had just about as many plate appearances in 2020 as he had in any individual season after that. Like, that is just sad, frankly. And just crazy how a really good player became just garbage, basically.
Yeah. I will bring up one more player name here because it feels still kind of sacrilegious to bring out this name in any term at this point. But how does this fare? It's like fair on the Chris Davis scale.
So obviously it's not nearly Chris Davis because
it's not nearly Chris
Davis was well below replacement level during his contract. I would say it's between Jason Bay and Chris Davis.
Yeah, I could see that.
If that's fair. And also the sad part of this is that the Nationals had to choose between Rendon and Steven Strasburg, and I mean, Strasburg had his career derailed by injury, and I mean, Rendon. I mean, it's like it was a lose-lose situation in reality. And when Rendon was on the Nationals, like he facing him in National League East play, he just terrorized the Mets. I remember there was the game where he had 3 homers and drove in 10 runs against them. I mean, he was so underrated. I thought he made his first All-Star game in the last year of his rookie deal with the Nationals. I mean, I thought he was just going to keep getting better or continue being an All-Star caliber player. And it is kind of sad to see what his career turned into. But absolutely,
then you consider pieces like Scherzer, who featured in this World Series, Trey Turner, who won the batting title this year, or was very close to winning the batting title. In the National
he won the batting title.
It was excellent for Philadelphia. Juan Soto is on his 3rd team later. He's still Juan freaking Soto, and it just happens that the Nationals, the 2 guys they prioritized, at least in that free agency period, was Strasburg, and that ended up being a horrendous contract. As someone who lives in the DMV, that is a contract you give out 100 times out of 100. And I don't think
he just won World Series MVP.
Yeah, Nationals fans, you can't possibly regret that. I get that it ended poorly, but you, just in a few years,
you do
higher
it,
the number. It's just money. it's just money. The Lerner family has more than enough millions to cover that contract. So just it really sad how that whole transpired with both Rendon and Strasburg. And then your other stars, the Turners and Scherzers, and Harper left the year before, and Soto, they're all on different teams and to some degree thriving.
Yeah. So, and boy, I know it hasn't happened yet, but I wonder if we ever get a secret base video on the collapse of that Nationals team because, well, I guess it happened so suddenly.
I was about to say, I wouldn't even call it a collapse. I would say the harvesting of that Nationals team because all the players, a lot of the best players here were taken away by other teams. Here, Trey Turner's doing amazing stuff now with the Phillies. You have, Harper not there at the time.
Yeah, as I say, he wasn't even there. Yeah,
he was harvested just before. And though he did say that he was planning on bringing a World Series to the Nationals that year, and he was correct.
Yeah, he was right. He got that title to DC. I mean,
got the title to DC while being in Philadelphia.
Before we move on, I do want to say, if any team got screwed by the pandemic, it was the Nationals.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Just like the whole not being able to do any sort of World Series. Like you have that great run. It's the only time in franchise history they've been to the World Series. It's their only championship. Even if you take the entire city of Washington, it's their first championship since 1924 with Walter Johnson and the Senators. And you can't capitalize on any sort of like crowd bump. There wasn't a crowd. You couldn't have Juan Soto bobblehead, Max Scherzer bobblehead, so-and-so bobblehead. It just felt lifeless.
You had,
and of course, not their fault, but that's
you had fanned cardboard heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, cardboard
heads. Anthony Fauci's
is
throwing out the first pitch of the season.
Yeah, that's right, against the Yankees.
That's the wrong Anthony.
Yeah. God, that was
getting more production from a man. It's like from Anthony Fauci to Anthony Rendon is actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, we're not. We didn't even talk about Patrick Corbin. I mean, he was part of that.
Oh Lord,
he was another one of that mega contract too. Granted, Corbin was also excellent in that World Series.
Absolutely.
But, anyways, we're gonna move on. What we do have planned is just like last week with the free agent draft. We're doing a trade draft. I know we did this right before the trade deadline, and admittedly, doing this in the offseason is a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
But here we are, snake draft, just like last time. Alex will get the first pick. I have the second pick. Splash will get the third pick. So we're each drafting 5 players and teams, that we think there will be a trade transpiring. You get 2 points if you get the right team, and you get 1 point if the player gets traded at all. So, Alex, you have the first pick. You're on the clock.
I do. All right. So with my first pick here, we talked about this team a little bit ago here. I have the Boston Red Sox going out and getting their number 2 starter in the name of Joe Ryan. I think they're going to go here. And because again, he's salary controlled through 2027 here via arbitration. So, and he's not that expensive right now, only $5.8 million for a team that's already selling everything. And they don't have a whole lot of pieces left. You might as well just get rid of the last pieces here. I say get rid of. You're still bringing in assets for. I think this is just another good match for both sides.
That was the top name I had on my board.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was glad to get the first pick, because I'm like, okay, that's like one of the only ones I'm actually.
I had that as my first pick because the Red Sox. I mean, I believe it was Fox who actually tweeted out Joe Ryan had been traded to the Red Sox, so they almost got Joe Ryan over the summer. Now I think they do go out and get him. And regardless, like I said, the Red Sox are not done. They're definitely going to get another arm. So. Yeah, I have another arm, and you'll notice there are a lot of arms on our list probably because, frankly, the arms on the trade market are a lot more enticing than the arms on the free agent market. So my arm, I have Freddie Peralta. I have him going to the Mets. David Stearns, a former Brewers executive, and now that the Brewers have retained Brandon Woodruff, it does seem a little more likely that Peralta gets moved. He's entering a contract year, and the Mets desperately need an ace on this staff, and I think Freddie Peralta is that guy.
Yep. Nope. I can absolutely see that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the theme of Minnesota Twins and go with my former Cy Young pick, Pablo Lopez.
Oh, nice.
I considered this. Yep.
And I have decided to send him at least the spray and pray method. The Chicago Cubs, baby. I said they should go get a starter. Maybe you pursue that through a trade. I did see a rumor that the Twins could trade him back to the Marlins, which I don't know if the Marlins
don't think that's happening.
But that would be pretty funny if it did. Lopez is really good, and there's a reason I picked him to win the Cy Young a couple of years ago. It hasn't panned out from an injury standpoint. He's been a little bit worse. It's if you think of him compared to like Tarek Skubal, who may or may not be my next pick, they kind of went in opposite directions,
all right,
if you will. So yeah, Pablo Lopez, great pitcher. I don't think he's too long in the tooth to be a Minnesota Twin, unfortunately, because he dealt in the one playoff outing, or his playoff outing against the Astros back in the day. So maybe one day.
And now you have your next pick.
Should I rip the Band-Aid off?
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off.
Should I rip the Band-Aid off?
Rip it off.
All right. Dodgers, Tarek Skubal. Sorry,
no,
Dad.
That's not happening.
No.
Okay.
I'm not letting that happen.
Okay.
No,
maybe I should have sent my dad my Christmas list before I said, hey, the Tigers are going to trade Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers. This is just I'm hoping I'm wrong. I am hoping this serves as a jinx more than a correct prediction.
That's fair.
So sorry. Skubal to the Dodgers. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope he stays a Tiger for life. I think we need more of that in Major League Baseball. So Skubal to the Dodgers. Congratulations to nobody.
That is like the last thing I wanted to hear. I don't see it happening. I don't want it to happen, but maybe, the Dodgers have a way of loading up on arms. God, maybe it does happen. But anyway, I'm going to move on to one that is a little more exciting, I think. I'm going to take the first position player on here. Ketel Marte heads back to the team that signed him originally. He's going back to the Mariners, I think.
Really? Okay. I see it.
And, maybe this means they don't necessarily re-sign Jorge Polanco or Eugenio Suarez, but it sounds like the Diamondbacks are going to move him no matter what. He is under team control for a couple more years. And the Diamondbacks are kind of in an awkward spot where they're not good enough necessarily to compete with the Dodgers or the Padres, but they're also not bad enough to just like throw away next season. They're talented. They could be a fringe wild card contender. But I think the Mariners have enough depth in their farm system also where they can afford to trade off guys to get a guy like Marte. So I think, Marte goes back to Seattle and he's middle of the order bat for them.
Dang. You know what? I would be very conflicted if I saw that happen, just because I saw what happened when he was younger with this team. And don't get me wrong, he's matured a lot and improved a lot.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I'm still going to be wary until, he starts dominating. And then I'm going to be like, yes, it's so good to have you, our child. All right, I'll go to my next pick, and I'm going to stay within the Twin City here. I'm going to go Ryan Jeffers here, a catcher off the board here for this, because I think catcher is one of the most underrated positions, and it's one of the ones where you need a good level of offense for, especially if it's right there available to you here. And for this, I think the Padres are going to go and get him. They need more kind of work to kind of compete in the NL West here, especially with the Dodgers being as good as they are here. So especially when trying to work for that wild card, if anything here, having a solid guy behind the plate, I think is very important. This was also very much brought up by the fact that Austin Nola here just recently signed with the Mariners as a coach here. And the last time that the Padres traded for a catcher from Seattle, it didn't work out too well. So maybe they go to the Twin Cities.
All right, well, you get the next pick too.
I do. I was just seeing if you guys had anything you wanted to say on
this.
Yeah,
no, I can see it happening. Partially, just they need an offensive side to their catching position, and Freddie Fermin doesn't really have that. So
he's been a solid player. Has had some quite big ebbs and flows. So if you catch the high end of the variance, that could be a Padres go to the NLCS type of deal. So I think a fair move. And another Ryan off the board. So and with my next pick, Ryan Potts, you are out of this podcast.
It's like, all right, Ryan Potts. I'm currently trading you to my mom's new podcast of history. No. Anyway. Anyway, no, with my next one, I'm going to go with a name that I have been saying will be traded for the last couple of years here, and that is what Sandy Alcantara.
That was another guy I had on my list.
Alcantara here, and I think this is where he finally gets moved, and there's going to be a team that is willing to pay that contract of his because they need more pitching. He's going to go to the Bronx. He's going to go to the Yankees here on a trade. Because we see that the Marlins and the Yankees have had a few good trades in their lifeline. Plus, if the Yankees had said anything, it's that they have such a deep farm system here that every one of their players is worth Aaron Judge.
Yeah, totally.
That is true.
I think this. Greg Bird, Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar.
Spencer Jones now.
Yeah, Spencer Jones, George Lombard.
I think Spencer Jones is older than I am, and he's still considered a prospect.
Correct. I'm pretty sure he is. I think he's my age. I'd have to double check that, but I think the Yankees are going to get an arm, one way or another. Sandy, it feels like, like you're saying, it feels like he's been a trade candidate forever and ever, and now maybe he finally gets moved. It's just that he's coming off the worst year of his career. Mm-hmm. Also, I just double checked, and Splash, you are 2 months older than Spencer Jones, but he is 24 and still a prospect. Yes,
tough scenes.
Respectfully to Spencer Jones. But why don't we stick with the topic of the Yankees getting an arm? I see them going a little bigger than Sandy. They're getting Mackenzie Gore, I think.
Okay.
Gore, again, it's tough because he made his first All-Star game. He had a great first half and then really, really struggled in the second half. But the Yankees, I think they need another arm to fill out their rotation with or without Garrett Cole. I mean, who knows what Garrett Cole is even going to be this year. But I think they do trade one of those prospects that their fan base loves to get Gore and maybe a guy or two from their Major League roster.
So this is not the pick I was planning to make, but I feel like doing another pitcher to the Yankees. This is a reunion. Luis Severino back to the Bronx.
Yeah.
He wants out of Sacramento, fair enough. I wish I could say even for like 1.5 Yankees or Mets. I think he goes to one of his former teams. I think it makes a lot of sense. He's pitched for the Yankees before. He has pitched well for the Yankees before. He was an all-star level pitcher for them before, a Cy Young adjacent level pitcher for them. He was also good with the Mets last season. He has the flaw, to quote Moneyball, that he can't pitch for the A's at home, and that's half of your starts. That's a problem. So I think he
hates being at home.
Yeah, I think he makes sense to be a trade candidate. He was not the top of my list, but I did want to complete the triumvirate. And
that's fair.
So
I respect it. The OCD in me respects it.
Yes. I'm tempted to go with another Yankee, actually.
You're on the clock.
Yeah, let's do it. The New York Yankees acquire one of my favorite players in Major League Baseball, Brandon Lau.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was going.
Brandon Lau goes to Plow Baby.
Where?
Second base.
Interesting.
Sure. I know Jazz was sitting there. I think Lau could, acquaint himself in one of the corners, the opposite corner from Aaron Judge. He could also DH for you, but I'm really would be intrigued to see the lefty bat profile at Yankee Stadium. Of course, he did play at Steinbrenner Field, which was Yankee Stadium, but outdoors last season. He is one of the most productive hitters at the second base position ever. He has a career 123 OPS plus. He was an all-star last season, his second time in his career. He's finished top 10 in MVP voting twice. He's had a 140 OPS plus in a full season before. He's 39 homers, has 20 plus home runs in each of the last 3 seasons. He did play a smidge of first last year. He's played left and right before. Second base, I know, will be tough because Jazz exists and Jazz is awesome. But I think the Yankees just need some more players, and I think Lau would be a really nice add and another person for Aaron Boone to platoon and do his like sort of hockey line shift sort of deals when you have a lefty on the mound. Okay, Lau is not playing, Jazz probably doesn't play, etc. But then you have a righty on the mound, Lau is in, Jazz is in, Ben Rice is in, and you get all load in all the lefties, and then you have Aaron Judge, who's the best hitter on the planet. So Brandon Lau to the Yankees.
All right, I don't know if I see the Rays trading him within the division, but I could see that happening in some capacity. I'm gonna go with another Ray actually. Then, and I realized that I didn't even have him on my initial list, but Yandy Diaz. I know he's on the older side. He's 34, but I think this is maybe finally the year that the Rays trade him. I know he was in trade talks the last 2 years, but I see him getting dealt, and I'm gonna send him to Cincinnati. The Reds need another bat. They have so much rotation depth. Their pitching staff really improved, but their offense really hasn't, in my opinion. So I think this is their impact bat. I know he's on the older side, but he's still plenty productive. Had a great second half. So Diaz, I think, goes to Cincy.
Okay, I can completely see that one. Yeah,
I think people underestimate how good Yandy Diaz is.
Yeah,
I know the profile is a little goofy, being a first baseman, contact oriented, on base oriented, but he did have 25 homers last year. He did have a 136 OPS plus. He was top 20 in MVP for the third time in 4 years.
Fair enough. Yeah,
former batting champion, by the way.
It sounds very Luis Reyes at that point.
If Luis Reyes
he's actually good.
If Luis Reyes knew what the weight room was,
or walking,
true,
or walking, play
True.
discipline.
All right, so I'm going to go into my next one here, and I think that Taylor Ward is going to get traded.
Oh, he already got traded. So
did he already get traded? When did he get traded?
He got traded to the Orioles.
Oh, right.
Cheat code.
Oh,
traded for Grayson Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, that was the
pick,
Grayson Rodriguez trade.
Sonny Gray is getting traded to the Red Sox.
Oh yeah,
Same.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my pick.
Bazinga.
No, okay. Well then, I'm gonna go with my other pick. Then while I try to think of the other one. Then the other one is another Cardinal getting traded here. I have Jojo Romero.
Oh, okay.
I'm making sure here because I've already done one stupid.
He has not been traded yet.
He has not been traded yet here, and I think he's going to go to Seattle. Getting a good left-handed arm here for what is going to be relatively cheap. We've already seen that in the relief pitcher market that they're getting expensive here to get good relievers here. I mean, what was it? Raisel Iglesias just signed for what, $17 million, something like that here. So I would rather have you pay for a good lefty much less than that and do it via a trade. So you've got a really deep farm system. You can do that to give Gabe Spire at least a little bit of help in the lefty area there. And then for my other pick here, man, there's a number of names I have been going through, and I think I've settled on one here, and I'm going to kind of double down on something here to kind of hedge my bets here. I'm going to go Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland here, another, left-handed pitcher. So what team needs a pitcher? The Bronx are getting put back on here again as I'm doubling down here.
We have a lot of
Yankees. Hedge my bets a little bit. Here again, another left-handed arm here makes a little bit of sense here, and I think it's going to do well when you take him out of Mile High. Although to be fair, it's not going to be too much better when you go to the Little League field known as Yankee Stadium. So,
yeah, well, I think honestly that would be great for him just to get out of Colorado. I'm not sure if the Rockies actually move him, but I think it's possible. He is, I believe, the longest tenured Rockies pitcher in terms of like starts. If I'm not mistaken, he's made more starts than anyone else in Rockies history. He just broke that record.
I mean, that's right.
I'll fact check.
Please fact check that for me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw them post something about that. He's also from Colorado, so like he's a Rocky through and through. He grew up with that team basically.
Yes. So Freeland 1, Aaron Cook 2, Herman Marquez and Jorge De La Rosa tied for third.
Yeah. So like I said, he's made more starts than any other Rocky. He's from Colorado. It would be hard for him to go probably, but I can see it happening. My last pick, there's a reason I'm making this my fifth round pick, because I'm not confident that this actually happens, and it is very, very bold. But the Astros are kind of in an awkward spot right now where they can't really be penciled in as a playoff team going into next year, I think. And, they're again losing another guy in Framber Valdez this offseason. So I have them trading one of their big contracts this offseason. Josh Hader is going to get moved this offseason. He's a reliever. He has a high price tag in terms of his contract, but there are teams that need closers that are in a position to contend in a much more certain way than the Astros. I have them going to the Cubs. The Cubs need a closer. They're probably going to lose Brad Keller this offseason, who also, by the way, might be trying to be a starter again. And I think they may want a more sure thing back there than Daniel Palencia, who is very talented, has a ton of potential. But I think, the Astros try to find a taker for Hader in his contract. The Cubs have enough guys in their farm system that they can trade. So Hader goes to the Cubs. He becomes their new closer.
Right.
Yep.
Baseball, huh?
Baseball,
yeah.
All right. For my last selection, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I have narrowed it down to one of two Cardinals, and since this is the last pick, I will say Nolan Arenado or Brendan Donovan. But I haven't decided which one I think will be on the move. I feel like either could reasonably be on the move. Donovan, I think, would fetch a higher price, given that he's younger, more positional versatility. Arenado, big name.
Ton of money.
Yeah. Arenado, huge money deal. But the Cardinals have tried to trade Arenado for quite a while. I think this is the year they do. And I think Alex Bregman does not return to the Red Sox. So they go and they get Nolan Arenado.
God.
So we get
it's like every Red Sox fan is tweeting about how much they don't want Arenado, and for that to happen, it would be wild.
Really funny.
I think there's a non-zero chance the Cardinals just cut him. They can't find a taker for him, so they just release him.
I was also considering Wilson Contreras, the Cardinals.
Yeah, same.
First
I
baseman.
did.
He was on my short list. So to recap for the audio listeners, Alex chose Joe Ryan to the Red Sox, Ryan Jeffers to the Padres, Sandy Alcantara to the Yankees, Jojo Romero to the Mariners, and Kyle Freeland to the Yankees. Mac chose Freddie Peralta to the Mets, Ketel Marte to the Mariners, Mackenzie Gore to the Yankees, Yandy Diaz to the Reds, and Josh Hader to the Cubs. Splash, that's me, chose Pablo Lopez to the Cubs, Tarek Skubal to the Dodgers, Luis Severino to the Yankees, Brandon Lau to the Yankees, and Nolan Arenado to the Red Sox.
Yeah, so that's our trade draft. Like I said, there are a lot of pitchers on here. It's a lot harder to predict these trades in the offseason. So, there are probably guys on here that don't get moved at all. But like I said, 2 points for the right team, one player if the player gets traded at all. Let us know what you think at LAR_baseball on Twitter. Do you disagree? Do you think another guy that we didn't mention gets traded? Maybe a player gets traded to another team. But anyway, it is time for trivia. Splash has that segment today, so take it away.
All right, I am back into the TikTok realm. There's a game that it's the name of the game is you don't want to say the same name as me. So I will give you categories, both of you categories. You will say a name, and I will write a name down that fits the category on my iPad right here. And then you both will say a name, and I will reveal my name. If we match, you're out. The winner, you get half a win if you just last longer than the other person. You get a full win if you can beat all 9 levels I have.
Okay,
so fellas,
I like this game. Yeah.
Any rule clarifications?
No, I think I did this with you guys not too long ago.
Perhaps.
So I'm excited for this.
All right. Name a player in the Hall of Fame. That's it.
Okay.
I
It
have
has to
my
be a
player.
player.
Yes, name a player in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Also, if you for some reason said Ronald Acuna Jr., in 20 years maybe you're right, but now you would be wrong and you'd be eliminated.
Okay, I'll go with my player, Gil Hodges.
Gil Hodges. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Teddy Ballgame.
All right, Ted Williams. I said Jackie Robinson.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, so both of you are still alive. Number 2, name someone in the MLB pipeline top 100.
Oh God, this is
Okay.
actually a little more difficult for me.
Yeah.
go.
I'm gonna go. I think he's still in there.
All
Colt
right,
Emerson.
I am going to pull up MLB pipeline so we get this right because I don't know all 100 guys off the top
I
of my
don't
head.
either.
So let me
So
just-
Say
I'm
Cole
gonna say
Emerson.
I said Colt Emerson.
Okay, got you.
Okay, so let me just make sure.
I'll say
Emerson
Carson
is
Bench.
number 9. All right,
Carson Bench.
he is Mets. He's
Mhm.
number 21. I said Sebastian Walcott.
Okay, I almost
mentioned
said
him
a different.
earlier.
I almost said a different infielder. So glad I didn't.
Okay. All right. I want you to name a player with 3,000 hits.
God,
Name a player with 3,000 hits.
Do
3,000
I want to
hits.
do the obvious or do I want to do
There's
the
3.
funny?
There's 33 of them.
Okay, I got mine.
Yeah, go.
Right. Have mine
I believe he has 3,000 hits. Miguel Cabrera.
too. Miguel Cabrera, valid answer.
I'll go with Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray, valid answer. I have Ty Cobb.
Okay.
Nice. I had a feeling you were going to put a
I
Tiger.
thought about going Ty Cobb. I'm really glad I didn't.
Okay. Now we're gonna get more on the subject. Name a Thanksgiving side.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm going for this. I'm ready.
Go.
All right, mac and cheese.
Oh, I haven't written
Yeah,
mine
actually,
down
no,
yet.
that is
Oh,
a
too
side.
late. Okay, well, okay. If you ever,
Okay.
you gotta tell
I
me.
was not going to write mac and cheese. My family does not consider it a
My family's
Thanksgiving.
making it this year because my nephews are probably going to be over. So,
Okay.
anyway, so I'm just naming a side, like any
Yes.
side.
Yep.
Stuffing.
Bump it
No
on.
way!
He's
I got a point.
gone. Alex, you have 5 levels left.
All
Sir,
right.
I want you to name a team that has won the World Series since 2010.
Okay.
Let me write mine down.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
All right. I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to go with the Nationals.
Chicago Cubs. All right. You are still alive. I want you to name a team that made the playoffs in 2025.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I've got my answer.
Sure.
Phillies.
I have Cleveland.
Yes.
All right.
We're staying alive.
This one is a best out of 6. You must name a major award winner this season. So MVP, Cy Young, or Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I got my answer.
Sure.
I will go with Paul Skeens.
And I win.
Oh, you let
Paul
Splash
Skeens.
win, man.
GG boys, GG's. The
That-
next
that
level
was
was
good.
name a kind of Thanksgiving pie.
Oh, yeah, mine would have been chocolate.
Oh, I was going to say apple. And then
I was
white
gonna
meat
say
or dark
pumpkin.
meat? 50-50.
Oh, white meat.
What?
Okay. I was going to say white
Let-
meat. So you would have been cooked at the end. But good job, Alex. Congratulations on your
Yeah.
half dub.
Wow.
I will take a half dub as I stumped you with Paul Skeens. Mac, enjoy Thanksgiving tomorrow, pal.
I can't believe that, man. Whatever.
Of course, the only way how I can win is when it's a one-strike system.
Anyways, no, that was a fun game though. Caught me off guard there at the stuffing, but I thought maybe that was gonna be too basic for me there. And I guess Splash was thinking the same thing. Anyways, that was a fun trivia segment. I guess congrats to you guys on beating me. Anyway, it's time for the moment to ourselves, 60 seconds or so to talk about whatever we want. And every show doesn't have to be baseball or sports related. So who wants to go first here? All right, Splash. I saw your hand go up first, so let's get my stopwatch out. All right, your timer begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello. Thanksgiving is tomorrow or today or whenever, as if you're listening to the podcast. So I'm just going to say some things I'm thankful for. Thankful for my friends and family. You're great. My dad, my grandmother, my uncles, my George grandmother, my uncles and aunts and cousins, my extended family, the rest of the Potts gang, the rest of my mom's side of the family, Uncle Mac, my friends, much appreciated. I'm thankful for the Ravens and Braves and Cavs and Red Wings and Boise State sometimes and UConn, even though they lost to Arizona the other day, and that made me really sad. In the Splash Bowl, Arizona at UConn. Really? Of all 300 teams, you had to play the school I went to. Anyways, yeah, I'm thankful for my employers, thankful for the paychecks, thankful for this Navy versus Memphis article I'm about to write after we finish the recording. Thankful for sleep, and thankful most importantly for you guys, Mac and Alex. You guys are the best. No one else I would rather do the podcast with. LAR to the moon, baby.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. It's that's crazy. I remember
losses above replacement, right?
Yeah.
Like three or four.
It's been about 2 or 3.
I can't remember. I know we changed the name after I finished grad school.
Yeah.
Did we do it all at once? Because I know we started like the Twitter and whatnot January of 23.
Oh, so that was probably when we.
That's probably it. Yeah, I think we launched it all at the same time, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, so like January 3rd of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which that makes a lot of sense then. Alex, you want to go next? Or?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So, this is to encourage people to go out of their comfort zone and try something new here. Recently, again, this isn't too far out of my comfort zone, but still no idea what I was really working with here. I was part of a draft in the Power Pros universe here. We're in the latest Japanese game, which I actually do surprisingly own here. We got put into teams of 3 and had to draft a full roster of 23 players from all of the success mode, and also got to use 2 OBs or original baseballers here that are actual like real life players that played for Japan. I don't know if that's actually what OP stands for. That's just what I was calling it. And I got paired with 2 honestly really cool people here. I had no idea what the heck I was going to be working with. I was expecting to be fighting with them on every single bit here. I was expecting just to be told to just watch and learn all that. No, we all worked well, and the draft itself was an amazing. It lasted 7 freaking hours. We were on a Discord call, about nearly 20 of us, for around 7 hours, and it was actually so much fun here. And now we're getting ready for the actual league itself to start. We're not playing any of it. It's all CPU v CPU, but we get to make in-game decisions like a manager would here for that. So excited for that. To my teammates, Big Sid and Raku, Team Spooky to the moon, baby. Had to borrow your phrase on that one there, Splash.
Absolutely. We're all going to the moon.
We're all,
yeah.
Actually, I'm going to have to postpone it until 2027. I have some finances to work out.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's fun.
Then we can all go to the moon.
We didn't intend for this to happen, but we ended up drafting a lot of people with either their character was spooky or kind of weird in some ways. So we just got dubbed as Team Skeleton, but we're going to change it up a little bit. What was funny, though, is that I ended up taking a poster online for the movie Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, and I just pasted all of our team's faces over the people in it because I'll show it to you guys later. But it's a good time here. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I remember when I think it was during the pandemic, I was in an MLB The Show sim league and an out of the park baseball league, and it was just like it was organized by like random people on Twitter, and I swear it was like pure chaos.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I remember people like, I don't know, people were making like fake Jeff Passan accounts to like, I don't know, report like quote unquote trades, and like somehow my team like lost out on like 7 consecutive free agents or something. And I was losing it. I remember I won the World Series like the last season we simmed. I think in the Out of the Park League, but it was super chaotic. I remember we did another one over like WhatsApp for some reason, being like, dude, what is going on? I like couldn't keep up with it to the point where like I just like dropped out eventually. But it was that's super. I didn't realize that those type of things exist. So that's good to know.
Shout out to DishNet and the entire Power Pros Universe server on Discord. It's a good time over there.
Yeah. And also, yeah, it's a great way to meet other people, by the way. All right. Someone count me down.
All right. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, begin.
I just wanted to elaborate a little more on the Brandon Nimmo deal. I still can't believe he's not a Met anymore. It's going to be really weird watching him play in another uniform, but I'm just glad he was a Met, really. He's a kid from Wyoming that, they don't play high school baseball out there. They still drafted him in the first round. And it took him 5 years to make the majors, but once he was up, he was consistently good. I mean, I know he did have injuries occasionally, and they never made the World Series with him, but he was always productive, always above average. Ends his Mets career as one of the best, I think, offensive players in franchise history. He had over 25 Baseball Reference WAR. He was a 124 OPS plus guy. He was top 10 in home runs. He got on base plenty. And also, like I said, he was a super nice guy. You guys remember the picture I took with him. I mean, he was the last player to leave the stadium that day. And basically, I was there because I was jet lagged. I had just gotten back from Japan. My friends were like, we're going to go to the players' lot, just hang out, see what happens. And he pulled up, and he could have easily just like gone home and like ignored us all. But he literally stuck around and signed for everyone who was there, which I think is super cool. For a kid from Wyoming, he really endeared himself to New York. And I think the fan base's reaction really just says a lot, that he meant a lot to the fans and the team. And Stephen Alex Cohen put out a statement that was very on the nose about how he represented the team in a great way on and off the field. So I'm going to miss him. I'm excited to have Marcus Semien on the team. I think he's a great fit for the clubhouse, and I'm excited to see him be another leader in the clubhouse. So, I'm going to miss Brandon Nimmo. I'm thankful for the time he gave the Mets. He was drafted in 2011. The Rangers GM Chris Young was a Met at the time that he got drafted. So, a bit of a full circle moment. Plus, he'll be teammates with Jacob deGrom again. So, thank you, Brandon. And I'll always be rooting for him. I hope the boys in Texas take good care of him.
Yeah, one could say the Rangers found one.
Yes, they found Nimmo. Anyways, that'll do it for us today. First of all, hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Take some time with the family to eat a bunch of food and hang out, maybe watch some football. Make sure to follow us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one singular football game. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at LAR_baseball. Follow Alex at the Sports Guy 242. Follow Splash at Mr. Splashman 19. Follow myself at Mathias_A_K. Maybe tell us why you disagree or agree with what we said in today's episode. Maybe you just really liked the Anthony Rendon contract.
You need help.
Did anyone like that?
I don't know.
I don't even know if Anthony Rendon liked the contract.
Yeah, I don't know. He got $245 million, or close to over $200 million.
That's
for
true.
his 6
He also
years.
doesn't seem to like baseball sometimes.
Yeah, so
I mean, to be fair, neither did Zach Greinke, and yet he's still one.
Yeah, he's still probably a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyways, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave a like. Follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. Leave a 5-star review. But we will see you all in December. So take care, stay safe, and hope to see you all real soon. Thank you.